So, what really makes a great leader? We're about to dig up a surprisingly modern answer from a place you'd probably never think to look, a U.S. Army field manual from all the way back in 1951. Yeah, let's see what it has to say. All right, let's just dive right into the big question, the one everyone always asks. Is leadership something you're just born with? We've all heard about the natural born leader, right? That person who just walks into a room and commands it. It feels like they just have it. It's a really powerful idea, but you have to wonder, is it actually true? Well, for our answer, we're going to turn back the clock, way back. We're looking at something called Field Manual 2210, published by the U.S. Army over 70 years ago. Now, you'd probably expect a military guide from that era to be pretty rigid, maybe a little, dated. But honestly, what it says about leadership, it might just flip the whole idea on its head for you. And that brings us right to the heart of it all. It's this clash between that common myth, the born leader, and the philosophy that this old manual lays out. It's a total disagreement on what leadership even is. Okay, just look at this comparison. It lays it out so clearly. On one side, you have the myth. Leadership is inherent, it's a gift, it's fixed. You either have it or you don't. But then, look at what the manual says. It's the complete opposite. It's acquired, it's an art, and this is the most important part, it can be developed. That's a huge difference. And here it is. This is probably the most powerful line in the whole thing. Leadership is not inherent. It's not some kind of magic. The manual says flat out that it's all about traits you can develop and techniques you can learn. That single idea, wow, it puts the power to become a leader right in your own hands. So when the manual calls leadership an art, this is what it means. It's not talking about some mysterious, untouchable talent. No, it's defining it as a skill, a practical skill you can learn, you can cultivate, you can practice. And look at what you need to start: mental ability, moral integrity, and the desire to get better. It's not about your genes, it's about your character and your commitment. Okay, so if leadership is a skill, if it's something you can actually learn, the next obvious question is, how? How do you do it? Well, the manual doesn't just make this big claim and walk away. It actually gives you a blueprint for how to improve. Now, the very first thing you have to understand about this blueprint is that there's no finish line. The manual is super clear about this. It's a continuing process. It's a journey for life. You don't just, take a class and get your leader certificate. It's something you have to work on constantly, day after day. And here's the 3-step method it gives you. First, you practice the basic traits. Second, you apply the principles and techniques. And third, and this one is absolutely crucial, you use these same principles as a yardstick to measure yourself, to see how you're doing. It's this constant loop. Practice, apply, and then check yourself. So why are we spending all this time on an Army manual from the 1950s? Because its core message is, well, it's totally timeless, and its lessons reach so far beyond the military. And this is why this old document is just so powerful. This wisdom didn't come out of thin air. The manual itself says that its principles came from studying successful leaders from all walks of life, military and civilian, in the US and in other countries too. It's basically a breakdown of what actually works, no matter who you are or what you do. So let's just boil it all down. What are the big takeaways from this 1951 guide? Number 1, leadership is a skill, not a gift. 2, it's a lifelong process of getting better, built on practice and being really honest with yourself. And finally, the most inspiring part, because these ideas are universal. Pretty much anyone with integrity and the will to improve has the potential to become a leader. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. This was the philosophy that was shaping leaders more than 70 years ago. The world has changed a lot, but the idea that you can build yourself into a leader through practice, principle, and self-reflection, man, that feels more relevant right now than ever. So the real question is, how are you going to use that blueprint?